What's up, vlog? Today, I'm doing a different video than my other vlogs that I've done before. This one's not actually a vlog because in this year, 2025, I have become a reader. I never was a reader before, like I never read books. I mean, I read like one book last year and then I like never read books because I can't actually imagine things. I didn't realize that until recently. Like I always thought when people were imagining things that it was kind of like a black image. I don't even know. Like I can't see stuff in my head, so I was always like, I don't like reading. But this year, yeah, I did fall prey to book talk. And I was like, well, actually, last year I fell prey to book talk, and I was like, well, maybe I should just become a reader. So then I did. And I read 7 books so far. I read all these books. And yeah, the first one that I read was kind of what got me into it. So then I was just like reading, and then I was like, well, maybe I should record a video of everything that I read in the first quarter of 2025. So yeah, I was like, I'll just do that and then go through all the books and maybe like rank them at the end. I don't really know, but I just thought maybe people who are like becoming readers and are into similar stuff as me would enjoy these books to get them into reading. So yeah, there's 7 books, and then I guess I'll just go through. I'm gonna go through them in the order that I read them, and then I guess this will be no spoilers. Okay, so the first book that I read was Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. This book, like I had heard a lot about Brandon Sanderson when I was like getting into book talk, and I like fantasy stuff, so I was like, maybe I would like this. So I picked it up and I read it. This book follows a girl who's in this world where there's like magic, but the magic comes from like, it doesn't just like come from people, it like comes from stuff. And basically, the whole world is like kind of post apocalyptic vibe. And there's like this evil guy who, I don't know if this is spoiling, but like they try to take him down. So basically that's like the plot of the book. This book I think is super good for like people who don't really want to read a book that's super like flowery with the language. Like I think that Brandon Sanderson does a good job of just kind of getting to the point. I mean, it's a long book and there's a lot of world building, but it's not like overly descriptive. But to me that's a good thing because like I really was in it for like the plot and the world, and I mean the characters too. But overall this book was super good. After reading it, I was like, yeah, for sure I have to finish the whole trilogy. I would rate it, I think I rated it like 4 out of 5 on Goodreads. And yeah, like I think that holds up from like the rest of the books that I read. So yeah, definitely recommend, especially to like get in books. This was super good. The second book that I read was The Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. This one is far more political. I think in terms of like the story, you get to learn a lot about the characters and how they grow, which I thought was good. And I think for the overall plot, the like political nature of the book was really good. It like served the plot well. But it wasn't something I was really expecting, but I still thought it was really good. But yeah, some people think that the pacing of this book was slow. I kind of agree. It still was good. Like, I think that the fact that Brandon Sanderson he isn't very wordy, it helps a lot. I think that it was slow was because there was like so much information that you're learning, while also kind of not really learning a lot of information. But I don't know. I still thought it was really good. I don't think this one was as good as the first one, but definitely still worth the read. And I think in terms of like the whole trilogy, it serves it really well in showing how the characters like grew up, um, and changed throughout the story. I thought it was really good. The third book that I read was A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. This book, I thought I was really gonna like it because I really like the fantasy vibe of Mistborn, and I like knew that this one was more romanticy, and like there was some romance elements in the first 2 books of Mistborn, so I was like, okay, maybe it will just like be like that but more, and so I'll like it. But I don't know. Like this one I think was not for me. I thought it was fine. I think my biggest issue was just that it was like very predictable, I thought, and I don't know, like there wasn't a lot of world building. The language was super descriptive, but like in a way where I was learning things that I didn't care about. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not the target demographic for this, but this one might have, like, I'm glad I read it, but I don't think I'll read it again ever. I know that people say that the later books become really good, and I do have the second book. I'm planning to read that, but I think for now, like, yeah, this book is the lowest ranked book that I've read so far in the beginning of 2025. Yeah, I guess I would give it like a 2.75 out of 5. Like, it was cool. Like, the main thing that just really got me angry was the end of the book. Like, there's this whole, I guess, like, ordeal that the character goes on, the main character protagonist, and to me, like, I don't know if this was like obvious to other people that were reading the book, but to me, she kind of had like two options of like ways to resolve her situation, and the answer was so obvious. Like, I was actually, so it made like the whole last, I feel like 100 pages like not enjoyable because I was like, girl, the answer is clear. Like, the answer is right there. Just answer it, and then you're free. Like, what? It was, yeah, that kind of triggered me when I was reading it. I think that that was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back because up until that point, I was like, okay, can like, it's fine. But that was the third book I read. The fourth book that I read in 2025 was Brandon Sanderson, The Hero of Ages. This book I really enjoyed. Some people I think say that this book is kind of long, and I mean, I agree. It was definitely a dense book, but I thought you were kind of getting like everything that you wanted. Like, as a reader of the first two books, I like everything that I could have wanted was in this book. So I don't know, like I thought it was satisfying. And yeah, basically it just continues the story with the characters that we know. We like learn more about them, and I thought it was really good. And the conclusion of the book, I honestly felt like as it was approaching the end, I was wondering like how the story would wrap up because I feel like a pretty big undertaking to wrap up this like huge story, and I think Brandon Sanderson did a really good job. It was definitely satisfying, and like it's a story that I would read again because there's like some elements of it that I definitely think, you know, like when you're watching a TV show and then like a year later you can watch it again because you kind of forget some of the stuff, but you know the overarching picture. So it's like you're kind of following along, but you don't know everything. So it's like fun again. Like, I think that that's this whole trilogy. I think that that's kind of like what it's going to become for me. I really enjoyed this book. This one, I definitely liked it better than the second, and I think I liked it better than the first by a little bit. Super good. Definitely recommend it. But that trilogy, 100% got me in my reading era. Cause, like, yeah, I did not read before these books, and yeah, it's just like super good. So I was like, okay, like let me get into more books. So the fifth book that I read in 2025 was The Silent Patient by Alex Michael. Oh, dang. I'm just gonna let you read it. Alex Michaelides. Alex. This book was my first foray into mystery, and my one good friend, she really loves mystery. So, like, I was telling her, like, okay, as I wrap up Mistborn, I'll get into this book, or I'll read this book because my cousin gave it to me. And honestly, I really liked it. Like, I think as a genre, I definitely could get more into more into mystery because I read all these fantasy books and I was like, I feel like I want to broaden my horizons in reading. Because I know I definitely like fantasy, and I thought like mystery might be something that I would like really like. And I know that this book, like, people loved it. The plot, you basically are following a therapist as they work with like a particular patient, the silent patient, and I thought it was good. Like, I thought the pacing was pretty good. The only thing that I didn't like about this book was that there was a part, maybe like two-thirds of the way in, where it felt kind of cliche to me. Like, the main character was like going and meeting these other people who were suspected to be involved with the mystery. And every time the character went, it was like one or two chapters of them like going to meet this person. And then you would like see into the character's head. And he'd be like, that was kind of suspicious. Maybe they're involved. And then that just happened like three times in a row, or maybe like four times in a row. And by the end of it, I was like, dude, like, I don't care. This all feels, I mean, like, information that was relevant, but to me it felt obvious that like that wasn't the true like direction the plot was going. So I was like, bruh, I hope not all mystery books are like this. But overall, I thought the conclusion was super good. Um, the plot itself was definitely engaging. It was just that one part where I was like, okay, this is kind of boring. But um but yeah, I really liked it and I was like, okay, I feel like I could like read some more mystery books. So yeah, I feel like as the kind of turning point of the books that I was reading or like the books that I plan to read, this is definitely good. And like I mean the hype for it is warranted. Like this is a very good book. But um but yeah, that was the fifth one that I read. The sixth book that I read, which I forgot that this was coming out this year, but so good, like so good. The sixth book was Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. This book was fire, like so fire. I read the other prequel, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and I've read the original trilogy like a long time ago. But going into this one, I was hype for sure because I like Haymitch. Um, the ballad, like I thought, I mean, people said it was long, and I also thought it was long, and like I don't know, interesting. But I was hoping that this book would kind of be different than ballad, and it definitely was. This book was so good. I think I read it in like 2 days or 3 days, and just cranked through it. It's definitely a return to form, I think, to like the original trilogy in terms of, well, maybe the first two books in the trilogy of like how those are organized and the plot progresses, and not even in a way that it was like nostalgia bait. I mean, there was some parts where it was like there's a lot of fan service, but the formula was applied super well and it was definitely engaging. It felt new, it felt fresh while also being familiar. And like I honestly think that this book would even be good for, well, I don't know if this should be your first book to read if you've never read The Hunger Games, but it definitely could be. Like this book was really good. Like I thought it was excellent and definitely will reread this one again. Like super good. I would give this one honestly a 4.5 out of 5. Like so good. I wasn't even planning on reading this one. I just like because it was not in my to be read, but then I remembered that it was in my to be read, and then it released. So I just like went and I picked it up and I read it before I read my like last book that I finished. Yeah, Sunrise on the Reaping, super good. Couldn't recommend it enough. Especially if you like, you know, the original trilogy, like so good. And the last book that I read in Q1 of 2025, which I have seen a couple people say was really good, so I was interested in it. Um, the book was Piranesi by Susanna Clark. This book was super, super fire. Like, I really enjoyed this. It's something that I wish I could like remove from my brain so I could go back and read it again. It was super good. It's I think the genres it's like mystery, fantasy, a fantasy mystery, and yeah, I think that's accurate. Like, I feel like I can't really say much about like what happens, um, but because it's kind of like a book, like the less you know, the better. Piranesi is the main character that you follow, and I guess it's not really a spoilers. He's inside of this like huge labyrinthian home that has unlimited rooms, and there's statues on the walls, and he lives there. And throughout the book, you basically follow him and like his life. It's kind of almost like a slice of life book. Like you kind of just feel like you're watching this guy live and like do his thing. But it turns out that the plot of the book is like way huger than what you maybe anticipate it being. And yeah, I just thought this one was super good. Like I wish I could unread it and read it again. That's how good I think it was. This is another one where it's like maybe in a year or two when you forget about it, like you can read it again and it will be just as good. And in terms of like the atmosphere, like I studied architecture at university, and the I guess like emphasis on like the built environment was very interesting to me and engaging, and I just thought like in terms of like vibe, the book was great. Like I thought it like rounded out everything that I've read so far super well. So yeah, that was everything I read in 2025, what got me to become a reader. So yeah, so these were all 7 of the books that I read in 2025 so far. So yeah, I guess I would recommend like these three if you want to become a reader. Like maybe check any of these out. But if anyone has any recommendations for books who watches this, like definitely put them down below. I'm for sure a noob still on Book Talk. If any of you have recommendations that watch this, definitely comment them. I'll probably read them. I think I'm gonna make this video again in 3 months, and then maybe again in 3 months, and then again in 3 months, and do like a wrap up of everything I read so far. I'm gonna like keep going strong. Maybe things will change. Maybe you'll never see this video again, but maybe you will. Who knows? Maybe I'll be a book YouTuber now instead of a vlogger. That was it. So, goodbye vlog.